What if the greatest threat to your freedom wasn't a boot stomping on your face, but a velvet glove gently stroking your cheek? What if the very pursuit of pleasure, the thing we believe makes life worth living, is the very mechanism of our own psychological imprisonment? This isn't a dystopian fantasy. It's the dark, prescient warning from Aldous Huxley's Brave New World, a vision that feels less like fiction and more like a mirror reflecting our own accelerating reality. We are meticulously engineered to crave distraction, to seek the next hit of validation, the next scroll of content, the next purchase promising bliss. But this endless chase has a sinister cost. It doesn't feel like oppression because it wears the mask of liberation. It whispers that we are entitled to feel good all the time, and that any negative emotion is a glitch to be medicated or scrolled away. But in this constant pursuit of pleasure, what profound parts of the human experience are we willingly erasing? What happens to love when it is stripped of its agony and ecstasy, reduced to a simple transaction of convenience? What happens to truth when it becomes less important than feeling comfortable? You are living in the experiment right now, and the most terrifying question isn't about the world out there, but about the world within you. Have you, in your search for happiness, quietly surrendered your right to be truly human? This isn't a flaw in the system. It is the system working perfectly. The engine of our pleasure prison is hedonism, but not the kind preached by wild philosophers. This is a sanitized, industrialized hedonism, weaponized. Huxley saw that a society obsessed with comfort would willingly trade the arduous, often painful, pursuit of meaning for a guaranteed, shallow satisfaction. He called it the passion for happiness, and it is a far more effective warden than any tyrant's rage. Why? Because the chains are forged within our own minds. Carl Jung warned of the shadow, the parts of ourselves we repress to maintain a comfortable self-image. Our culture doesn't ask us to confront this shadow. It sells us tools to ignore it entirely. To numb the existential angst that philosophers like Sartre argued is the very catalyst for authenticity. We are conditioned to flee from the void, the boredom, the uncertainty, the suffering that Viktor Frankl believed was essential for finding purpose. Instead of building strength through struggle, we are offered a pacifier. The soma of Huxley's world isn't just a pill. It's the endless feed, the algorithmically approved outrage, the curated lifestyle that tells us who we should be. We are not forced, we are seduced into complicity. And this is the deepest, most insidious layer of the trap. We police ourselves, believing we are free, all while willingly swallowing the poison that keeps us docile. But if pleasure is the cage, what terrifying, magnificent key must we forge to break out? The true cost of this pacification is paid in the quiet currency of the soul. We are becoming strangers to ourselves, our inner landscapes flattened by a constant dopamine drizzle. The neurological reality is that our brains, wired for efficiency, begin to prune the pathways for deep focus and tolerate only the thrill of the new. We lose the capacity for what the Stoics called amor fati, the love of one's fate, the strength to embrace struggle and find profundity in pain. This isn't just personal. It's a collective atrophy. A society that prioritizes feeling good over being right, comfort over truth, is a society that cannot confront its own demons. It chooses soothing lies over unsettling realities. We see it in the erosion of critical thought, the polarization fueled by outrage engineered for engagement, the hollowing out of community into mere connectivity. We are hyperstimulated and underdeveloped, mistaking access to information for the cultivation of wisdom. The most dangerous consequence is the death of longing, the quiet, aching desire for something more, something transcendent that has driven human art, science, and spirit for millennia. That longing is the engine of revolution, both personal and cultural. But when every ache is immediately soothed by a digital or chemical pacifier, the revolution never comes. We remain, as Huxley feared, blissfully unaware of our chains. But if awareness is the first spark of rebellion, what does the second look like? The rebellion does not begin with smashing machines, but with a single heretical thought: I refuse to be happy. Not in the sense of seeking misery, but in the radical act of rejecting the prefabricated, shallow happiness you are sold. It means embracing the very things the system teaches you to avoid: boredom, uncertainty, and existential discomfort. This is the counterintuitive escape hatch. It is the philosophy of Nietzsche, who declared that to endure chaos is necessary to give birth to a dancing star. It is the logotherapy of Viktor Frankl, who found that meaning is discovered not in the pursuit of pleasure, but in the embrace of responsibility, even in the face of suffering. Your first act of defiance is to sit in a quiet room with your own thoughts, to let the anxiety rise without reaching for the digital soma. Your second is to seek out what is difficult, to read the challenging book, to have the uncomfortable conversation, to create something for which you might be judged. This is how you reclaim your attention, the most valuable resource you possess. You must become an architect of your own constraints, deliberately choosing depth over distraction. This is not austerity. It is the highest form of luxury, the rediscovery of your own unfiltered consciousness. But this reclamation of self leads to one final terrifying question. What is this raw, unmediated reality actually for? The ultimate truth is this: pleasure was never the enemy. The enemy is the mindless, automated pursuit of it that erases your humanity. The final, revolutionary realization is that true, profound joy is not the opposite of pain. It is its integrated counterpart. It is the exhilaration on the far side of struggle, the peace earned after navigating chaos, the love that is deepened, not diminished, by its vulnerability to loss. Huxley's warning was not against feeling good, but against the cowardly retreat from the full spectrum of human experience. Your deepest self does not crave an endless vacation. It craves meaning, and meaning is only forged in the friction between challenge and triumph. To be human is to hold the sublime contradiction of ecstasy and agony within one heart, and to find that very tension beautiful. This is your birthright, not a right to happiness, but a right to experience, in all its terrifying, glorious depth. The world may offer you a cage of pleasure, a comfortable, well-managed existence. But outside that cage lies the entire messy, magnificent, and real world. The choice is, and has always been, yours. A life of managed comfort, or the unpredictable, often difficult, but genuinely authentic adventure of being. If you've ever stopped to think about the role of pleasure in modern society, share your thoughts in the comments below. For more thought-provoking content, be sure to check out my related videos.